We're going to start off today in an extended child's pose. So we're going to draw our knees nice and wide as is comfortable for you, and then bring the big toes together, and then just sit your bottom back onto your heels, and then we're just going to walk the hands forward and slowly melt the chest down to the mat. And you can just rest your forehead down, extending through the arms. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths here just to center ourselves. Breathing in through the nose, and then maybe we exhale through the mouth. Feel yourself sink down a little deeper with every breath. Inhale through the nose, and let it go through the mouth. One more cleansing breath in through the nose, and then let it go through the mouth. And then close the mouth down, and we're just going to breathe in and out through the nose. Maybe we're just going to gently rock our forehead from side to side, just massaging through the forehead, and then maybe come to some stillness. Maybe this might be a great time to set any intentions you have for the day. One more full round of breath. And then we're slowly going to lift our forehead off of the mat. And then start to walk the hands back up towards the body. And then draw the knees into alignment. We're going to come over onto all fours, coming into our tabletop pose. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Try to pull that belly up in towards the spine. So we're really going to start to engage the core straight away. So keeping that nice and strong. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, round through the back, tuck the chin to the chest, pull the belly button up into the spine, push the floor away. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And then exhale, round it through. Warming up through the spine here. Really push the floor away. Coming into your cow pose. And then rounding through into your cat pose. One more. Moving with the breath. And then come back through to a neutral position. Going to come into our thread the needle. So inhale, right arm rises up to the sky, gaze goes with it. And then as you exhale, thread that right arm underneath, drop the shoulder down to the floor. The side of the face can come down. Maybe you extend the arm out to the top of the mat. Or you could take a half bind and you can wrap that left hand around and see if you can tuck your left hand into the crease of your right hip. The hips are going to want to go over to the left here, so make sure you draw them back into alignment. Couple of breaths. And if you had that half bind, release the hand, push down into the floor to lift yourself back up, sweep the right arm back up, gaze goes with it. You may notice there's a little bit more room there that time. And then place the hand back down. Same to the other side. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, thread the left arm underneath. Shoulder and side of the face comes down. And if you took that bind on the other side, feel free to take it on this side. So we try to keep everything even. And this time the hips are going to want to go to the right. So bring them back into alignment. Send that breath all the way down to the lower belly. And then release the half bind if you had it. Hand comes down to the floor, push it into the floor. Inhale, left arm sweeps back up. Exhale, place that left hand back down. From here, we're just going to walk the hands slightly past our shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes. We're going to lift our hips up into the air. And we're going to come into our first downward dog. Really push the hips up. It's not about trying to get the legs straight here. It's about trying to get that chest towards the thighs. So if your hamstrings are tight, keep a bend in the legs. Maybe have a pedal out through the feet, looking underneath the armpits. Pushing down into the fingertips rather than into the wrist. And then come to some stillness. Let the head be heavy. We're going to inhale, rise the heels up. And then as you exhale, push the hips down, the heels down into the mat. Inhale, rise the heels. Exhale, push them down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, push them down. Bringing the big toes together to touch, we're going to take the weight into the left foot and inhale, sweep that right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend into the knee to open up the hip. Maybe you can take some circles here. And then stretch it back up, three-legged dog, and place the foot down. We're going to take it to the other side. This time left leg rises, three-legged dog. Bend and open up the hip. And then maybe we take some circles. Inhale, stretch it back up, three-legged dog. And then exhale, place that foot down. Drop the knees down to the mat. And then from here, we're going to come into our puppy pose. So walk the hands forward. Hips and knees stay exactly as they are as you melt the chest and heart down to the floor. And maybe you rest the forehead down, or if you wish, you can take the chin down, whichever's most comfortable. And from here, we're going to start to slide forward onto our forearms, dropping the belly down to the floor as we come into our Sphinx pose. Tops of the feet down, pushing into the floor. And think about pulling yourself forward to the top of the mat as you inhale and then rise the chest forward. Gaze is forward. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Push that pubic bone down into the floor. And then exhale, lower down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders as we push up. Come through to your tabletop, tuck the toes, push the hips up into the air, downward facing dog. Coming into a downward dog wave plank. So we're going to inhale through to your plank pose. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, send the hips to the back of the mat before we push them back up into the air. Inhale, come through plank, two more. Exhale, send them back and up. One more. Inhale, come through plank. Exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back and up. Heel toe the feet in towards each other so the big toes are touching. Inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Look to the top of the mat and you're going to draw that knee forward underneath and then see if you can step that right foot in between the hands at the top of the mat. Lower the back knee down. We're going to untuck the toes here. Making sure the knee is directly over the ankle. Let the hips drop. You can use your blocks here if you need to elevate the floor. And just let the hips sink nice and low. A couple of breaths. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, start to straighten that front leg. Maybe you walk the hands back, toes can come up to the ceiling. And then inhale, couple through here. Inhale to your low lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale through to your low lunge, last one. Exhale, straighten the leg. And then bend back in. Tuck the back toes. We're going to lift that back knee off of the mat as we come into our runner's lunge. Maybe just have a little gentle rock backwards and forwards, really getting into those hips. Plant the hands down onto the floor. We're going to step that right leg all the way back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale, place that foot back down. Taking the to the other side. Inhale, left leg rises. Look to the top of the mat as we step that left foot in between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes. Let the hips sink nice and low. Gaze is forward. Again, feel free to use your blocks. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, straighten that front leg, toes come up. Inhale, come back through to your low lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg. Doesn't have to be completely straight. You can keep a bend in it. That's absolutely fine. And then come back through to your low lunge. Frame that foot. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee off of the mat, coming into your runner's lunge. Again, maybe just have a gentle rock backwards and forwards. Maybe a couple of bounces. And then place the hands down onto the floor. Sweep that left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, plant the foot down. Just recenter yourself, just in case you have come out of alignment. Really make sure the fingers are spread nice and wide. We're going to inhale, three-legged dog, right leg rises. Look to the top of the mat. Step that right foot in between hands. And you're going to keep that back leg, that back heel elevated, and we're going to inhale, push up into your high lunge. Let the hips sink nice and low. If there's any pinching in your lower back, just bend that back knee slightly. Again, keeping that knee over the ankle. From here, we're going to turn our back foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat. We're going to open up into our warrior two pose. Really stretch through the fingers. Don't let that knee fall in. Really open it up, push it back. External rotation in the hip. Gaze is over the front fingertips. We're going to inhale, straighten that front leg. Rise the arms up together. Exhale, sink it down. And again, inhale up. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale up. Exhale, sink it down. And then let the fingers come down behind you. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Roll the shoulders back and down. Take an inhale, shine the chest up. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Coming into your humble warrior. Drop the chest to the inside of that right knee. Maybe the arms come up overhead. Try not to let the shoulders drop down towards your ears. Really pull them back as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're not here forever. Take an inhale, push into the floor, rise up, come back through to your warrior two. Straighten the front leg, coming into our triangle pose. Hips go towards the back of the mat. Maybe you heel toe your foot in slightly. Hips towards the back of the mat. Fingertips reach as far forward as you can. Once you're as far as you can, rotate the arms. Right hand comes down to your shin, a block, or the floor. Really open up the chest. So we're trying to think about getting that left shoulder back. Maybe the gaze is up to the sky if it feels good for the neck, or you can keep the gaze down. Ooh, made me wobble. Look down to the floor, bend into the front knee, rotate that left hand down, frame the front foot as you sweep that right leg back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale, place it down. Big toes together, sweep the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands at the top of the mat, coming into our high lunge as we push into the floor to rise up. Turn that back foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat. This time we open the arms up. Warrior two. Drop the shoulders down. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Draw the arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, sink it down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale up. Exhale, sink it down. Let the fingers come down, interlace them behind the back. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, shine the chest up. And then exhale, coming into our humble warrior. Push into the floor evenly with both feet. And then inhale, come back up to your warrior two. Release the hands. Straighten that front leg. Maybe you heel toe that back foot in slightly, coming into our triangle. Hips to the back of the mat. Fingertips as far forward as you can go. And then rotate the arms. Draw in that right shoulder back. Look down to the floor, rotate that right hand down, frame that front foot, lift the back heel off, and then sweep that left leg back and up. Exhale, plant the knees, feet down, drop the knees to the mat. Untuck the toes, send the hips back as we come into our child's pose. Maybe you keep the arms forward or you sweep the arms back. Sending the breath down into that lower back. Sorry, there's a bit of work going on outside. And it's 36 degrees today, so it's quite warm, so I need to have the doors open. And then draw the hands up. Push into the floor. Lift yourself up. And we're just going to draw our hands behind us. And we're just going to open up the chest. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe the gaze goes up. And then come back through. Coming back to your tabletop pose. Walk the hands slightly past the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips up into the air, downward facing dog. And we're just going to walk the feet to the top of the mat. Keeping the feet nice and wide, you can bend into the knees as much as you need. Maybe you find a ragdoll fold here, grabbing a hold of the elbows, and you can just gently sway from side to side, maybe shake the head yes and no. And then let the fingertips come down to the floor. We're going to place our right hand down into the center of the mat underneath our face. We're going to bend into the right knee and try and keep that left leg as straight as you possibly can. And we're going to inhale, sweep that left arm up to the sky. Maybe you can take a half bind. Release the bind if you had it. Left hand comes down to the floor. Bend into both knees. Take an inhale. Find a halfway lift. Fingertips to shin, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Left hand comes down this time. Bend into the left knee. And then sweep that right arm up. And if you took the bind, place it behind the back. Right arm comes back up to the sky and come back down to the floor. Bend into both knees. Let the head hang heavy. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands down and we're going to step the feet back. And we're going to come into our plank pose. So come forward over the wrists. Really pull that belly button up in towards the spine. Let the hips come down. So we don't want the hips up here or really low down. Really find like a nice straight line, like a plank. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to lower down all the way to the floor, nice and slow. Untuck the toes. Keep the elbows tucked in. Push into the floor as you find cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. One more. Inhale, push up. exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, push the hips up and back into the air. Downward facing dog. Look into the top of the mat, walk the feet to the top. Find your ragdoll fold. Let the fingertips come down to the floor, bend into the knees as we slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head being the last thing, we roll the shoulders back and down. From here, we're going to take the weight into our right foot. We're going to inhale, sweep that left knee up, nice and high. And then as we exhale, we're going to start to kick that left leg back, coming into our warrior three pose. So body is parallel with the floor. Maybe you keep the hands at the heart center, or maybe we stretch them forward. Nice and steady. If you had the arms extended, draw them in. Take an inhale, see if you can come back up. Keep that left knee lifted. Lift it up nice and high. And then as we exhale, we're going to cross that left ankle over the top of the right knee, coming into our standing pigeon. From here, send the hips back. Chest comes forward. Flex into that left foot. Maybe you stay here, or see if you can drop your fingertips down to the floor or a block. Hands come back to the heart center. Push into the floor to inhale. Keep that left leg lifted. See if you can lift that knee back up one more time. And then place it down. Give your legs a shake. Taking it to the other side, our last bit here. So take the weight into the left foot. Inhale, right knee rises up. And then as you exhale, start to hinge at the hips, kicking that right leg behind you. Coming into our warrior three. Gone. It's okay if you wobble. And then inhale, see if you can sweep that right leg back up. Lift the knee up. And coming into our standing pigeon. So right ankle over the top of the left knee. As we send the hips back, flex into the right foot. Keeping it nice and active. And if you drop the fingertips before, see if you can drop them down. Inhale, come back up. See if we can keep that right leg lifted. Lift it up a little higher. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Give yourself a little shake out. From here, we're going to come down onto the floor. And we're just going to come into a little core exercise. So bring the hands behind the backs of the legs. We're going to inhale. We're going to have a nice straight flat back. So really lift and lengthen through the crown. Take the inhale up. And then as you exhale, we're going to start to hinge at the hips as we start to lean ourselves back, coming into our boat pose. So maybe you lift the arms up. Maybe you take one leg up. Maybe you take the other leg up. Or maybe you see if you can straighten the leg. Wherever's most comfortable for you today. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, straighten that right leg. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, straighten the left. Inhale up. One more each side. Draw it up. Feet come down. Take an inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, we're going to slowly roll down. All the way down onto our backs. Very warm. From here, we're going to place our hands, palms face down. And we're going to draw our feet in towards our seat. So you should just be able to touch your ankles here. We're going to push our feet into the floor, feet hip width apart. And we're going to inhale. We're going to see if we can lift our hips up into the air. Keep the knees in nice and tight, so we're not letting them splay open. Really draw everything in and up. See if you can squeeze those glutes a little bit more. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Take the hands out into a T shape. Bring the feet together, knees together. Lift the hips up slightly and move them about an inch over to the right. And then we're just going to let both knees drop over to the left, and maybe the gaze goes over to the right. Inhale, draw the knees and the head back up through to center. Maybe we lift the hips and take them slightly over to the left, and then let both knees drop to the right. Gaze goes to the left. Inhale, come back up through to center. And we're going to come into our final resting pose of Shavasana today. So maybe you just let both legs stretch out in front of you, or you can take a bolster and place it underneath the knees if that's more comfortable for your lower back. I'm going to turn the palms up to face the sky. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. I'm just going to take about a minute here just to let our practice sink in. Let the breath come back to its natural rhythm. Slow, steady breaths in and out through the nose. And maybe you close the eyes if you hadn't done so already. I'm not going to stay here for too long. And then just start to deepen the breath. And maybe have a gentle wiggle of the fingers and the toes. Maybe gently rock your head from side to side. Maybe we take the arms up, have a nice big stretch. And then bend into the knees, placing the feet down, roll onto your right side. And then we're just going to push ourselves up as we come up into a seated position. And the legs crossed, facing the top of the mat. And you can bring the hands together at the heart center, close the eyes down. And if you set any intentions at the beginning of the class, maybe just have a little think about that. And just notice how you feel now as opposed to how you felt when you first stepped onto the mat today. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Bring the hands up to the third eye, to the mouth, to the heart. Namaste. Thank you everyone for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this little sequence and hope you feel ready for the day. Enjoy. See you soon.